And hello, everybody. Welcome to IncrediChat. I'm Mike. I'm back. It's been about 3 weeks since we've done a live IncrediChat. I have to thank Lee and the folks from the Star Trek group up here in the Hudson Valley for stepping in for 1 week. Our buddy Michael Grazia for stepping in the other week. And then those of you who tuned in last week, and I was up at the Northeast Comic-Con up in Boxborough, Massachusetts, and we had Kreskin and Billy Weston and a whole bunch of other great people. But here we are back now on our Thursday nights. Doing our regular IncrediChat, and tonight we got two guests. And if you are a comic fan or a Comic-Con fan here, if you're a horror fan here in the tri-state area and even beyond, you're going to recognize these two guys. And we've had one of them on before, but we're going to welcome another person on with us tonight. But tonight we're going to welcome Cosplay Jesus and Father Evil. So please welcome to the show our good friend Lou Aviera. Hello, Lou.
Cosplay Evil. I like that.
Evil. That could be your brand, right? and I'm going to say Anderson Marchek, correct?
Marchek, you got it.
Cool. So Anderson, Lou, welcome.
Hi, Mrs. Evil.
Mrs. Evil's there.
I just told them, I'm in the middle of an interview. She's like, oh, I forgot.
Well, everybody's welcome here. So, guys, welcome tonight on this rainy, crazy weather summer that we're having here. Crazy stuff. But welcome, guys. How's everybody doing tonight?
Fantastic.
So, Lou, you've been with us before, and I guess towards the end of, prior to the pandemic, and then certainly since the pandemic, you and Anderson kind of have joined forces. Father Evil, people know Father Evil, but how did that kind of go about? Let's start with there. And Anderson, please fill us in with how you became a cosplayer too.
Sure.
Go ahead, Anderson.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Well, I'm not shy to let people know I'm a trained actor. I've been acting for many years. It's what I got my bachelor's in, theater performance. And my dream role has always been to play Jesus. That was just a role that I was always drawn to. And it happened shortly after I watched The Passion of the Christ in 2004. And I had opportunities at the local church that I was attending at the time to actually put together a production. So I wrote it, I directed it, and I starred in it. And that was in 2007 that finally came into fruition. And from 2007 moving forward, I started playing Jesus any chance that I got on the stage. And it was a tremendous amount of experience. And in 2012 is when I decided to add an extra layer to it. On top of playing Jesus for the stage, I wanted to step into cosplay. And I always had the idea, I was always intrigued by the idea of what if Jesus came back now and how he would act now. And not what, I don't want to be mean here, not what a lot of individuals might think Jesus would behave, just the person that we've read about and we've heard about, the loving person. Mm-hmm. So I put on my Jesus costume and I went to Wizard World Philly in 2012, and the rest is history. It was a big hit.
Historically accurate Jesus. He's not talking about white Jesus.
Okay, thank you.
First generation Middle Eastern Jesus who looks like a white guy.
Right,
that's what he's getting at.
Correct. I'm a person of color, absolutely. So,
but I mean, in all honesty, on that, you think about where was Jesus from? He wasn't a white dude.
No,
there's
from
no
Middle East.
Middle Eastern men do not have blue eyes, brown hair, white skin. They just don't.
Correct. And that was a part of the appeal when people saw me. They saw a person of color with long hair and a beard and features that resembled, you look like what he would have looked like. And I just had such a great time. What drew people to me was just my reactions to their fandoms in character as Jesus. And so that's who the character of Cosplay Jesus is. He's Jesus if he came back now, and just his reactions to you in person, your fandoms, everything. And it's all love this way, all love, no religion.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun too.
No legalism, nothing, none of that stuff. Just having fun and just spreading the love. And spreading the evil too.
I mean, certainly playing that role of Jesus. I mean, yeah, you need to have that is a responsibility, and you need to spread that love, right? Because that's the message.
Yeah, that's the character. You know, it was so interesting. I've been asked to do some questionable poses and questionable things on videos, and every now and then I have to say, okay, this is not cool. It's not for what I want to do, you know, for the character, and it's cool. You know, everyone's pretty understanding about it. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. I've been playing this person. What is it? I'm not good at math. 2007 to now. Is that 14 years?
11. It's
11. I think it's 14 years. So yeah, I've been playing Jesus for a very long time now. So
let me just ask you, Anderson.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously you've been going to cons. I mean, you've made other appearances and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I know Lou and I talked about this in his Father Evil character. Have you had any pushback or like I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people who think it's awesome that you're doing that, but I'm sure there's a lot of people like, oh my God, how can you be coming to a Comic-Con? How can you be working with Father Evil?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll save the how could you be working with Father Evil. So we'll do the we'll save that. We'll get to that in a second. So I have a background in church ministry, so that's where I get my information from. And so when people would ask me, like, what inspired you to play Jesus? It's, you know, well, Jesus, the human being, inspired me, you know, to become a better person. And I kind of, just to not step on toes, I don't bring up faith or anything like that. It's just, I'm looking at Jesus, the historical figure, you know, and that's how I come across. And, you know, sometimes, most of the time it's actually gone over well because, and this is not to down any other Jesus cosplayer, because we've seen Jesus cosplayers, they're doing their thing and they're having fun. I try to come across as just respectful and as just welcoming to anybody that meets me. And then usually the barrier comes down, but every now and then I got people being upset, and it's okay. And that's fine too. You know, I just look to Jesus for inspiration. A lot of people didn't like him either. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, they may or may not like when I dress up as Jesus, but it's okay. It's fine. And, as far as, we're going to get some insider information here as far as playing Jesus with Father Evil, I held back from doing that due to my ministry background, because I still had ministry ties that would have gotten that it would have messed it up. It would have messed up my standing, and
it would have soured.
Yes. And I had to kind of hold back. I told Lou, I said, Lou, when the time is right, you know, and we talked a little bit here and there, but there was just so much hesitation. But after some time, it's okay. Everything's fine now. And, you know, I'm just looking at this as a professional acting gig. It didn't happen before it was meant to happen, and it's happening now. And we're having a wonderful time.
You mentioned it's a professional acting gig, and that's why I want to go over to you, Lou. You know, when you were on with us before, you talked about we talked about the evolution of Father Evil, and, you know, coming from the Halloween costume. But the one person that you spoke of, and I forget her name, there was a woman who really showed you the ropes behind it, and I know she was somebody that was very, very important to you. You know, and
Elsie Ginsburg Martinez.
Yes.
No, Elsie Martinez Ginsburg, excuse me.
And, you know, remembering that story and now seeing what you're doing here with Anderson, you know, it's almost like full circle. And I mean, I want you to talk.
Pay it forward. You gotta pay it forward, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I definitely let's talk about how you guys got together now.
Well, basically, he calls me pretty much out of nowhere, pretty much. Not calls me, but messages me out of nowhere. And this is the gist of it. I'm going to give you, basically, the honest. He messages me, hey, are you still interested in this Father Evil Cosplay Jesus picture thing? My response is, about time. About time. Meet me here on this date at this time. If you're serious. That was it. Pretty much. That was in the raw. I'm like, it's about time, dude. You came to your senses. You know? So what I mean by that is, like, you know what? It's fun to dress up and, you know, be these characters and play it, but it's even more fun to get paid while you're doing it.
Sure.
We first crossed paths at a Comic-Con. I remember these things. It was at Monster Mania in 2014. That was when we first crossed paths, and that was the first time. And it was so funny. It was the first time we crossed paths, and the first time we got to see the reaction of people seeing us together. So select times when people would see us together taking pictures, there was always like, I don't want to boost it any more than what it is, but people enjoyed it, you know, and it was so cool. And after. It was either before one of our first photo shoots or during our times of getting together. Lou was the person to first say something about us teaming up. And, you know, obviously it took some time, but, you know,
it took you time.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
But it's okay. Like, we have a good story now. You know, we first met 7 years ago, and I like that number. 7's a good number. You know, so 7 years after we first met, now we're hitting the con scene together, and it's just been wonderful. I went on a little sabbatical and hiatus myself, so I'm back after about a few years staying away, and the response from not only the people that knew me, but you know, Father Evil's followers as well. It's just been wonderful, and I am so thankful. You know, I'm so gracious and thankful that Lou would include me in this, and yeah.
How many cons have you guys done together thus far?
I would say two.
Only two. Wow.
Yeah, right now two. The first one was the Horror Sideshow Market.
Okay.
In PA, Allentown. And the second one was Garden State Comic Fest. But they really got to see our chemistry in Horror Sideshow Market. we have this thing. I'm not going to go into too much detail,
right?
Because you have to see it for yourself. It's we have this banter that we go against each other. Like, I'll usually start with him, you know, like why don't you call on your dear? Why don't you call on Daddy or something? You know, but just egging him on, or you know, and you just got to see it and the way that people are reacting, and I just feed off that, and we just both ad lib. And it's so much fun. It is so much fun the way people react. I mean, like, I would say, give you a brief example of like, whose church are you with? His, the Nazarene, or mine? And you know, some of them will be like, we're with Jesus, and he's like, haha, 1 for me, 0 for you, blah blah blah. So we go like back and forth like that.
Oh, I take great pleasure when Father Evil's followers run to me first. And these are some of them even wearing the Father Evil gear. You know, wow. It's like, oh Jesus, you know. It's like, oh God.
And I call you know what I call them?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's fun. And then, you know, sometimes they choose Father Evil over Jesus. It's really cool. And we don't even frame it like that. We frame it as the battle for your soul. Choose between good and evil. We're not saying choose between Cosplay Jesus and Father Evil. It's choosing between good and evil. And that's such a cool concept. Yeah. And you know, because it's a choice, you know, and we do this battle for your soul photo op. It's so cool. We put people in the middle, Cosplay Jesus on one side, Father Evil on the other, and we let that organically take shape too. You know, the fans have been wonderful.
The thing is, I was always against. I was always a one-man show. One man show, and that's it. Me, that's it.
And your son.
And one man, I mean my family. One unit. That's it. Very selective who I let in my circle, even more so in my business circle. No, and you got to go. I've always gone with my instincts on things, and that's why I've gotten it this far with my instincts. And something told me like, get on this guy. Yeah. So I did. And I could see certain things. You know, I don't know what it is. I can just see a certain potential with what we have and how far it can go. And I'm like, and I've learned to run with these instincts, and it's starting to like bear its fruit now in the early stages. You can just see it, and it's kind of hard to explain. I'm really excited about this little thing that we have going on, but I was so excited, and I never do this, that I gave him an open invite.
Yeah.
To all my shows, which I would never do.
Yeah.
Ever. ever. But I got such a good vibe about this. I'm like, dude, if you can make it to this, if you can make it to these shows, I gave him a list of my shows.
Yeah.
You can make it to these shows. Let's do this. So give me a list of what you can, and we'll make this happen. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and people love it, especially the horror fans. They really love it. They really love it. The comic fans, they don't know how to take it,
Right.
but the horror fans, they eat it up, and that's why I'm so I'm so excited. Like I can't wait for New Jersey Horror Con Film Expo in AC.
Yeah. Right.
Can't wait for that. And if you can make it to Texas Frightmare, holy shit, dude.
Oh man,
Dude, you
put me on the spot on the air here.
dude, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I'm giving you an example. It's one of the biggest cons in the country, dude, as far as horror cons.
Well, the great thing that you talk about too is, I mean, you've had this following, so again, people who know horror, and like I said, a lot up in this area, in the tri-state area, they really know you because you're a main staple at a lot of the events that go on. So for all these years, like you said, a one-man show, and the character of Father Evil has always had this presence, right? And now finally Father Evil has this nemesis, and it's not just a nemesis.
Nazarene.
It is the ultimate nemesis.
Yeah. the epitome of good and the epitome of evil. You know what I'm saying? It's so cool. So I mean, we're gonna plug a couple appearances here if you don't mind.
Go for it.
At the end of July, we have a Father Evil appearance, Scares That Care, and that's going to be in Williamsburg, Virginia. So I will not be joining him for that, but he will be there. That's at the end of July, July 30th, 31st, and August the 1st.
Yep.
And next month in New Jersey, we are both going to be together at Monster Mania Cherry Hill, and that's August 13th, 14th, and 15th. And then the very following weekend, we're going to be at the PA Horror Con, August 21st and 22nd. So 2 back-to-back weekends, you'll get to see the battle for your soul in person.
We have a couple of comments here from people here watching on StreamYard, and also some people on the other social that I'm following where we're live. Angela says, she's hi to everybody. She loves the Deadly Ground, Father Evil, and she has a question. What if you don't take sides and stay neutral?
Ooh. What if there's neutrality, huh? Well, I win because neutrality is doing nothing, which is the sin of sloth.
There we go.
All right.
Hey, here we go. In life, silence is acceptance. And most of the time, I'm not the one doing most of the talking. Father Evil is. So by being silent, you're accepting Father Evil's words. There is no such thing as being neutral. No. I say that when we're walking around. No fence sitting. You must choose. But free will. It's okay.
Free will or ultimatum? Because you say free will. It's really an ultimatum.
Uh-oh. Here we go. He's getting some of the show here. Let's go.
Lou, we have someone last time you were with us, they wanted to know there's a video game you were working on. What's happening with the video game?
Still happening, but COVID happened as well.
Gotcha.
So one of the lead techs on the lead programmer, his wife got COVID right at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. And then he caught COVID, and then they both survived. They're fine and everything now. Okay. But it was like really rough. So that put a kibosh on it for a little bit. And it started slowly again, and it's still going. So more than likely for next year. And it's Father Evil Spectre of Shadows, which is basically it's going to be an RPG, 2D with 3D aspects. Basically, it's going to be a spruced up version of if you remember playing Final Fantasy VII, where you would travel out and you would get random encounters. It could be a level 1 blob or a level 37 unicorn, dark, whatever, and you would have to fight it. So it's going to be like that in a sense. It's going to take place in medieval Spain during the Spanish Inquisition during the 1400s, and it's going to play like a religious horror game where you have to look for these 7 artifacts in these 7 regions to fight me at the end. or else I take over Spain and then the world.
Wow. Where my ancestors are from. There you go. Like we were talking earlier in Spain. Here's a good question for you guys. There are a lot of people who are in the professional religious business. People of the cloth, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like everybody else, they're human beings. They go out and do things. Have any of them come to a Comic-Con and spoken to you? Either as Father Evil or as Jesus. They're not wearing their collars or any of their. So
I've had in Monstermania, I believe it was around 2015, I believe, maybe 16, maybe 15. Which Monstermania was on a Saturday, and then that same weekend they were having some kind of like Baptist revival thing going on, where we had Baptist preachers from all over the country, all over the world, actually converging into here during a horror con. So that was happening, and I'm walking, the hallways doing my thing, and I see this woman, and she's walking down, and she's walking with guards, like big dudes with that are packing. They have the whole earpiece thing, whatever. And apparently, she's a person of prominence within the Baptist community. And she comes up to me, and she's like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, I'm ready for like a battle of words, one way or another. So I'm ready. And she's like, I'm like, "Yes, how can I help you?" And I'm in a common character. She's like, "Okay, may I take a photo with you? Because forgive me for saying this, but I find you to be grotesquely beautiful."
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, wow, that was the most bizarre and yet awesomest compliment I could ever receive, especially from her. So, and I just met this lady. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Let's take a picture. So I did my thing. She's like this or whatever. Took a couple photos, and that was it. But every Baptist person I've met, several Baptist preachers, they've all wanted to take pictures.
Yeah.
I met a couple Catholic preachers. They take pictures with me. One of them was an exorcist. I forget his name, but he's an actual exorcist. I met him at Garden State Comic Fest. He was promoting his book, and he saw me, and he's like, "I gotta have a pic. I'm an actual exorcist, and I love this. So can I have a pic?" So we actually took a pic. I actually promoted his book on my page, and he was very thankful for it. But but the ones that really don't like me are the hardcore Christians.
Really?
They do not like me. But they won't even look at me. They don't like me that much. It's not like they have the balls to come up to me and say anything, because they don't. But they won't even look at me.
Now let me ask you: for you, are those like the media trolls who are the hardcore Christians, or do you find which is ironic, there are probably some hardcore Christians who don't like you, who are still going to all these horror cons, where all this other stuff is going on?
Right.
Do you see it that way too? Because it's very like hypocritical of them.
Hardcore Christians, you're not going to find at a horror con. I don't think so. Hardcore Christians, stay away from that.
Yeah.
That's taboo. That is the devil's cesspool. Darkness and evil and horror and all the dead and all these trollops running around, and they would never be there ever. Ever. So I mean, but occasionally you'll get like a which happens quite often there at Cherry Hill. You'll get guests coming there who are not part of the con, who just happen to be there, and some of them are hardcore Christians, and then like they look at me, and I just look at them like, "Hello, child. I'll pray for you." And they're like, "Oh God," like, "God's not here, but I am." And then that was, I just play it off of that, and then it's a lot of fun doing that, believe it or not. I really enjoy that.
Yeah,
Anderson. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I've met a lot of people of faith over the years, both in my personal travels and through the conventions as well. I didn't do too many horror cons, so I did a lot of mainstream shows like Comic Cons and such. And obviously, I met tons of people of faith over the years, and it's been wonderful conversations. I'm friends with pastors, so I got to meet other pastors, and the pastors that I know, for the most part, they support what I'm doing. They've seen me play Jesus on stage. They've seen me get crucified and beat with a whip and this, that, the other, so this was just another, evolution of playing the person. And it's been mostly positive. And You know, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting, you know. And to Father Evil's point, Lou's point rather, the ones that actually, you know, think it's kind of weird, they would just stay away from me, and I can tell. You know, I could tell. You know, one time I got turned down for a photo op. Somebody was I'll never forget her. It was a New York Comic Con, and it was the character of Duella Dent, and it's I believe it's Joker's daughter in another universe, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought that her costume was amazing, and I had to get a picture with her because that's a lot of the fun of playing cosplay Jesus. Is I want that picture of Jesus with the character of whoever you're playing, you know. And she said something to me, but it was kind of like she shooed me away as she was walking away. It was really interesting. So you know, and like I said, I can count on maybe 2 hands the amount of times I've had an interaction that was not cool. You know, for the most part, just here and doing my thing. Good vibes.
Well, and that's the thing. Even though the positivity of Jesus and the darkness of Father Evil, like, you know, you're bringing good times to these people. You know, like you're giving them this experience that they enjoy. And I mean, Lou, you've been doing this for years. People come out over and over again just to see you. You know?
Yeah. Now they're getting a little extra, and they love it. They absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm having a great time. I've worked with many people over the years. It's the antithesis of Lou. Lou's never worked with anybody, you know, but I've worked with many people over the years, and I'm very proud of Lou to see what he's done over the years and what he's built. I've had this conversation with him many times, and it's just an honor. It's an honor for me to do this. I've kind of, to the point, I've shut down doing all other cosplays and other, you know, as far as cosplay goes. Like I'm still open to acting and doing other projects, but as far as other cosplays go, I'm just focusing on Jesus now. And if there's something that I can join Lou at, I am.
Well, it's a learning curve for him as well.
Oh yeah, I'm learning. Oh yeah,
because it's one thing cosplaying and dressing up and just going out there, doing whatever, taking a break whenever you want, going to your room, whatever, then coming down partying and doing whatever. No longer like that.
Nope.
It's no longer like that. It is work now.
I am working.
We need to be here early the next day for the VIP people. We need to be on point because no one's gonna. Some people come from miles to see me, and I never give them a bad shit. And I'll be damned if you are. That type of thing. You know what I mean? It's work. You're gonna be there on time.
So
we leave when the show's over. You know, when we start seeing people leave, okay, when tables start breaking down, that's when we leave. It's no longer. I mean, I've been to so many shows when you see these cosplay guests and they're just bashing the con, like, oh, this con sucks, no one's coming up here. Yeah, because you're not interacting with the people.
Exactly.
You're over here on your phone. Yeah. Fans walking by, you're not even acknowledging them. You're just taking selfies or whatever. Not only that, you came down 4 hours late, and you know, and then you're talking crap about the con, and then you walk off for 3 hours and come back. Maybe you're at your table an hour and a half, and then you complain because you had nobody. No, you were out gallivanting. You didn't do what you were paid to do, which is promote the con that you were at. So I don't tolerate any of that. And not that he would, but that's the mindset of a lot of these cosplayers out there. I mean, like
you mentioned that, and you know, and that's a good lead into what I wanted to just ask you guys about too. You know, the cons are back, and you know, you're mentioning the cosplayers, but I mean that goes down to like the artists and the vendors too. You know, you get as much that you get back from a con as you put into it.
Absolutely.
You know, like if you're not engaging with the customer, because essentially that's who they are, you know.
Every single person that walks through those doors are there for one reason: to spend money.
Correct. They want that experience of the con. They want to meet the guests. They want to get art. They want to buy comics, toys, whatever it is that they want to do.
Yes.
And if you're just sitting behind there, you know, how do they know? And that's like the thing. And I saw you guys at the Garden State. But again, just watching what you've done online, Lou, seeing you all these years, like you're in front of the table. you're talking, you're interacting, and that's the big part of it. Like, you're absolutely right. If you're just sitting there behind there, on your phone, like I've seen big celebrities, sitting at cons on the phone, and then they don't make their guarantees, and they're like, well, I didn't make my guarantee. But what did you do? Like you said, you didn't work for your job. You didn't work for what you were supposed to be doing while you were there.
No. But so that's a big learning curve for a lot of people. And then I've had people come up to me, other people wanted me to mentor them, and then I had friends actually talk to that person that I was going to consider mentoring, and they were like, "You're not that hardcore. This dude is hardcore. You're not that hardcore. He wants you to be there on time when you're supposed to be there. If it's a 3-day gig, you're there for a 3-day gig. It's no taking off whenever you want. No, it's hardcore, and it's a business, And if you want to make something out of it, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm not ready for that type of commitment." No, it's commitment, dude. Yeah. If you want to be successful at something, you can't have asset. You have to have passion. Without passion, you have nothing.
See, I'm actually, I absolutely look to Lou as somebody who's teaching me a lot, and I'm learning a lot as far as the business aspect of it. But see, Lou didn't know he got a ringer. He got somebody that was trained in acting, and he got somebody with a sales and customer service background. So he got a ringer.
Well, we're at the table. He has his goals. Not that I set him a goals, but I'm like, dude, this is your gig now. This is what you got to do.
Yeah, so I'm there with my pen and my paper, and
I'm doing this. I'm the face. I'm doing my thing. You got to do your thing too.
And
promote this, promote that. It's a business. It is a business.
Yeah. And I know he hasn't said anything, but I'm steady plugging on social media now that we're together. I try to put stuff out on social media. He doesn't really need to, because he's got such a great following now. The minute he posts something, it's like hundreds of likes and and comments and such. But me, on the other hand, I'm building things back up, because I stepped away for a few years. So I welcome the fact that I do have to grind again and work my way back. This is not a free ride. If anybody's anybody's watching this thinking, oh, that Anderson, he has it so easy, just free ride with Lou. It's like, no. I'm working. I'm absolutely working.
No, it's not like you get something like, hey, no, what are we doing? No, motherfucker, what? No, you're here. It's time. No, we're here to do this.
It's work.
And it's like, he was surprised. Like it was a little eye opener for him. He's like, "What time do you get up?" And he slept over. He's like, "What time do you get up?" Well, I'm gonna be up at 7, getting ready to put my makeup on. He's like,
"Yeah."
Oh, okay. He's like, no sleeping in, dude. No sleeping in.
Let me just, and I don't think we asked you this the last time, Lou. So you said you get up at 7 to put the makeup on. For the whole process, how long does it take to get become fun?
Honestly, 20 minutes.
Okay, not bad.
20 minutes. I've timed to myself, and it's 20 minutes and I've even done newer things to myself too. Like just newer techniques, and I'm always trying something different. But 20 minutes now is my time. I don't think I'm going to beat that, but
that's how long it takes me to do my hair.
Oh my God. How long does it take you to play Jesus? How long does it get ready?
Well, including getting my hair done, between 15 and 20 minutes. So, as a matter of fact, I could probably be in there longer than Lou.
Oh yeah, he is.
To get myself ready.
No, he is longer. He's absolutely longer.
Well, I mean, there's definitely the hair difference. No offense, right?
Yeah, hair takes time.
Let me ask you the question, because I've seen the pictures of Cosplay Jesus.
Yeah.
Is it a different period of Jesus when the hair is straight or when it's wavy?
All right, so people love my natural hair, the wavy and the curly hair. That's what my hair really looks like. Gotcha. And I did it for a while. I did it for so many years, but. When you're a person
of Middle Eastern Fabio.
Yes. Yes. But when you're a person of color, humidity is a thing. So the hair starts at this and it just starts growing by the end of the day. And
He goes from Jesus to a Samoan.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
He's doing a haka.
That's funny you mentioned that. I have a couple Jason Momoa cosplays, so that's funny you mentioned that. But people, they love the pictures with me with the curly hair. But it's just it just feels hotter, and it doesn't look as nice in the pictures by the end of the day. So I started, just doing it straight, just to get that type of look. But we'll see. Maybe once it gets longer again. We'll see. I had it short for the past few years, and because of the world situation, as we should call it, I started growing it back out again. So.
I keep on egging him, you really should grow it. I'm just saying, people really like it. There's more,
spoiler alert. There's a chance if I find a really nice wig, I might cut my hair again.
Hey, if it looks good, it looks good. But if you want to be, it's got to look.
It's got to look good. Wigs, yeah. And I know a lot of people that wear wigs, and they look amazing. Mm-hmm. They look absolutely amazing, but nothing beats somebody's real head of hair, And it's a part of my aesthetic. It's not just my face; it's my hair too. So we shall see. We shall see. If we're having shows where people are lining up out the door to see us, I don't think I'm going to want to cut my hair. I'm going to want that experience to continue.
Dude, it could happen. It's fine. Then I didn't think I was going to be at this fandom this fast.
Yeah.
In 2010, I never thought this. I was going to have this. You never know, bro. Don't mock it. You never know.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the. Sorry, someone just interrupted my call here. So Lou, I know you got to cut out in a couple of minutes. So before you go, is there anything that you can share with us? You mentioned the video game. What else is coming up for Father Evil? You have some appearances.
Father Evil is going to be in his first. He's making his first cinematic debut. In a horror movie, a horror western called Cowboys from Hell. No, it has nothing to do with Pantera. But I'm just throwing it out there. But it's called Cowboys from Hell. And I am playing myself, Father Evil. And my son is going to be my altar boy in this film. And very excited about that. I also have, I'm getting back into the paranormal scene. I want to do more things as Lou. I'm doing a lot as Father Evil, but I'm thinking I want to branch out more as Lou and doing other things, other avenues in entertainment. And I'm going to do that with paranormal research. So I'm going to start doing that. Some spots here in the tri-state area and other spots in Texas. There's a group in Texas that is very interested in me as well. They like my presence in front of a camera. And they like the way I did my first investigation, which I did about 4 years ago with my mentor, Elsie. And that's where I discovered some stuff that was pretty cool. I would have to post it up some other time. We could talk about it some other time.
Yeah, no, that's a whole other show.
Yeah, we could do the paranormal stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I have that happening and a lot of exciting stuff. So
stay tuned.
Yeah. As far as events, real quick, let me just go through that. Anderson, I got July 30th weekend, Scares That Care, in Virginia. August, the weekend of August 13th, Monster Mania. August 21st, PA HorrorCon. September 3rd, New Jersey HorrorCon that weekend. And the weekend of September 10th, Texas Frightmare Weekend in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. So those will be my appearances so far. More than likely, I'm sure the haunts are going to be reaching out to me soon to schedule. I usually work 2 haunts, Bloodshed Farms and the Fright Factory in Philadelphia. But whoever gets me first, whatever, because I'm first come, first serve.
When you do the haunts, is there a little bit more of a story to that than your regular appearances at a con?
No, as far what do you mean by story?
Like, are you obviously, are you just at a table when you do the haunts, or are you
No. Basically, my job is I'm a line guy. I'm a queue guy. Okay. While people are waiting in line to go into the attractions, I go in there and mess with them.
Nice.
As they're waiting in line to get in, I come out and mess with them. and it's fun. And a lot of the times, like they get really freaked out, and I'm like, wow, dude, you haven't even gotten in yet. So I'm like, you're in for a world of hurt. And yeah, so I play on that, but it's a lot of fun. And I think I have a wedding, maybe a wedding or two, like towards the end of the year. I forget off the top of my head. My wife handles all of that. But yeah, a lot of things are happening.
So cool.
So
That is awesome stuff. So stay tuned for all that stuff. And again, thank you. We're gonna continue with Anderson in a minute, but Lou, thank you for joining us tonight once again. And folks watching, check out FatherEvil.com and Cosplay Jesus at Linktree/Cosplay Jesus. That's scrolling there. But Lou, we definitely got to talk more about that paranormal stuff. You got me very curious, my friend.
Oh yeah, no. Well, as we mentioned earlier, I'm gonna bring you on one of them, man.
I'm down. Let's do it.
And it's funny. I work in my day job. I work in construction, and it's the manliest of men. This and that. These guys, these tough guys, right? So I go to one of my closest friends ever, Pete. I'm like, hey, Pete, you want to go on an investigation with me? It's going to be filmed. He's like, I don't know, dude. All of a sudden, they go from tough to yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I'm not going to go. So it's funny how that people they talk about one game, but when you invite them to an actual investigation, they're like, oh, okay. So hopefully you won't be like that.
Well, Lou, can I throw something on there? If I'm coming along with you, you know who I can bring with me who would be a lot of fun? Our buddy Marty Grabstein.
That would be epic.
Amazing.
Courage, the cowardly dog, coming along with us. Dude.
It would be a trip.
Absolutely. We can make that happen.
Absolutely. He'll be down.
All right, man. I'll catch up with you guys later. Anderson, I'll see you at the next show, homie.
Peace out, Lou. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Cool. Have you met Marty Grabstein yet?
No, I don't believe so. Oh, I may have. I don't know.
He's the voice. He's the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog. He's in Jersey too.
Sure.
And he's at a lot of the local cons. But yeah, he's a fantastic guy. But yeah, you'll meet him eventually. I couldn't promise you that. But yeah, no. So what we're gonna do is, I guess we're gonna talk more about you now. What I'm gonna do now too. We have you and Father Evil here as Cosplay Jesus, but I'm gonna switch now to this banner.
Sure.
Which because we're gonna talk about some of the other work that you've done too. Because
excellent, thank you. I'll change my display name too.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So you said you start off in ministry, working at as an actor. I guess you do some counseling. I guess therapy, motivational speaking.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Acting's always been a big passion of mine, and to the point that I wanted to pursue it in college. I got my bachelor's in theater performance, and I pursued it as a part-time thing, just a creative venture over the years. But that also mirrored with a ministry background that I had, and while I was involved in a ministry background, I always I started getting this this need to just help people. But I wanted to help people, not just through ministry, but just to help people in general, you know, and it led to me wanting to pursue motivational speaking and as well as mental health advocacy. And I moved away from South Jersey where I live. I moved to the Atlanta, Georgia area where I pursued both of these ventures at the same time. I pursued acting full time for the first time in my life. And I also pursued motivational speaking and mental health advocacy. And I learned so many things while I was away. I took 2 coaching classes, the whole deal. And as much as I wanted to come back and start going to school for counseling, it wasn't in the cards. It wasn't in the cards. But I am, I'm still doing stuff online. I'm putting out motivational speeches. I'm doing more and more check-ins with people. We're talking openly about mental health. I believe that we all have a mental health story, and the more we share it, we can one day end the stigma, because we really do need to end the stigma behind mental illness. So that's what I'm doing. And we're not ready to reveal it yet, but I still see myself pursuing some type of master's degree in college that can help me, create a bigger avenue with this passion of mine.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you. So you say you do like check-ins with people.
Yeah.
Like you I guess it's not so much a therapy, but like I guess you have a group of people that you that will reach out to you and
Right.
you know,
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. So here's the thing. If you're my friend, I'm going to do a check-in with you. You know, it's not necessarily like a professional thing, which due to the coaching certification, I could probably start doing it if I wanted to, but
Yeah.
we're kind of in the early stages. I'm only been back home for 6 months now, so I'm still kind of getting my feet, wet with everything again. So, but if you're my friend, I'm gonna do check-ins with you and see how you're doing. Are you okay? And it's like, okay, well, how are you taking care of your mental health there? For some people, they're open to it, and others they're not. And the ones that aren't, I don't push. That's it's not my thing. My main thing is I post online. And I'm just very vulnerable online, just letting people know what's going on with my life and how things are going. And I always use the hashtag end the stigma, mental health advocate. I'm just here talking about things. And with the whole, with the whole world situation, I think everyone was kind of forced to look in the mirror and talk about these things, about self-care, about your own mental health. Are you taking care of yourself? It's okay to not be okay. You know what I'm saying? So, we're all locked up in the house with nothing to do. And some of us had to be locked up in the house alone. It's a lot, but now because of that, that's opened things up and now people are being more receptive to it. And I'm happy for that. I'm not happy for the world situation, but I'm happy for people being more receptive.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you bring up a good point. Like the past 15 years, the past 15 months, the last year and a half,
right?
It's been like trying for a lot of people. I've shared with you. I work in a school,
right.
And certainly for I think the whole world. Like I mean, September, as long as everything goes good, it's going to be business as usual for most schools around this country, and there are a lot of young people. Like mental health, the social emotional aspect of things is going to be so important. It was funny. Like I was at school today, and I'll just share this with you, and the folks watching at home. Just like this is stuff you don't even think about. Like I work in a high school, and we have kids that are going to be coming in September as 9th graders.
Right.
So for some of them, the last time that they were physically in school. What where I work, 6th grade, their last full school year was 6th grade, which is still in the elementary school. Wow. And and then going for like the 4 or 5 months as a 7th grader, and now here you are in high school. Like you've missed that whole middle school experience. What is that? What is that going to be like for young people? And we were talking about, and I didn't even think about it. And I'm like, holy crap, that's mind blowing. And it goes for young people, people our ages and stuff like that, older, it's a readjustment, and
it is. And, I hope that, we as individuals just use this time to learn, use this time to learn and grow as people. It's so easy to get stuck in our routine. We wake up, we do our morning routine, go off to work, or if you're an at-home person, do what you got to do at home. And then we get together, we have dinner, chill out, watch some TV, read a book, go to bed, and we do the same thing over and over and over and over again. But there's more to life than that. There's more to life than your daily routine. And I think just what's happened to us, this past year and a half has honestly showed us that. And I see, and I see folks, some have grown and others, they just, well, now I get to go back to the way things were before. And if that's for them, then that's for them, but it is what it is. I found it so funny. I had a friend of mine. I said, I wonder if I should be pursuing this, because, just motivation and mental health. That's, I haven't figured out a name for that business yet, but if I really should be doing this, and the entire world shut down within months of me questioning that. I had that conversation with a friend of mine. It was like December 2019, January 2020.
Wow.
And I was just talking to one of my friends, and I was away. I was feeling lonely. I'd been away from my home for about 2 years at that point. Mm-hmm. And I was just telling her, and I said, man, should I even be doing this? Like, it would be so easy for me to pack up and come back home. And she was just like, well, stick it out for a little bit longer and you'll see what happens, you know? And then the entire world shut down. And there was from now on, there is a need for people to talk about their mental health. There's a need to talk about what's going to motivate you now. And there we go. You know, we lived through history.
in many ways in the last like 2 years. My God.
Right. And it's I mean, not to get political, it's not over yet. it's not over yet. It's like there's no herd immunity, you know, according to, you know, the people that are telling us stuff. So you know, it is what it is. And obviously there's so many things that happened, you know, people got laid off from jobs, people had to start new jobs, people themselves, they went through the illness, their friends went through the illness, et cetera, et cetera. Some people passed away, unfortunately, you know, like the ramifications of this world changing event are going to be felt for decades.
Well, and you know, it's funny you mention it. Again, we can talk about this in this comparison in this venue because, you know, Comic-Con fans and stuff like that. I mean, the way I look at this, like you watch like the Avengers and like Spider-Man Far From Home, you know, that blip, like this is probably what that kind of felt like, right? Like,
oh yeah, that's a good comparison.
Things kind of like stopped for a little bit, and now it's like, oh, now we're back, and what do we do? You know, because and you mentioned before routines, you know, and you know it was like, oh, I get up, I have my coffee, I put the dogs out, I do my commute, I do my job, I come home, I eat dinner, I go to the gym, I go to bed, and just keep doing it over and over again.
Right.
Everybody. Right. whatever that routine was that you have, you know, everybody's routine stopped, you know, and then people formed new routines, you know. And I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and she was saying to me, she's like, you know, I've gotten into this like habit of like having like 2 or 3 hours to sit and read a book, and now that things are back to the way, or going back to the way that they were, right. I don't have that time to read the book anymore. So you know, you found these new things then, and you know, I guess these little things that maybe you took for granted, like reading a book, you know, or going outside and doing yard work, having dinner together as a family. These are all things that you took for granted in pre-pandemic in your everyday lives that now, you know, and I saw a thing on Good Morning America, like this whole work from home option, you know, there's a lot of people who are like, have gotten used to this, and it's been good. It's been good for their families. It's been good for health for them. And now like some jobs are struggling. Like we want to have our workers back, but our workers don't want to come back.
Right. And that's so odd. It's like these people prove themselves. They prove themselves, you know, this past year and a half. And in some cases, the productivity went up because they were able to take care of themselves and not rush off to work, you know. And obviously, not every situation is going to be like that. Some people need to be present, you know, but, you know, things change. But what we're doing right now, you know, the video chat, this is something that's been going on for some time now, but it exploded. It exploded when this thing happened, you know, not just for casual calls, but for podcasts, for video casts. We're seeing all these interviews. There were conventions that happened, you know, virtually. It's what a time to be alive. I'm a big movie guy. I love movies. Streaming absolutely blew up during this time too. Not that it wasn't going to.
Tiger King.
The numbers were. Yeah, we would have never talked about that. You know, nobody would have known who Joe Exotic is if not for, you know, the situation. Or you know, I look at all the studios. Some of them decided, okay, we're going to release. Some said we'll do the home release, and some said we're just going to wait. We're going to wait. And it's so interesting, you know, what's happened.
But like you mentioned before, this really is a historical time.
Oh yeah.
That we've gone through. Let me just say, you know, like this is great. Like we always talk about like comics and
okay.
And I'm just saying, like this is such a good topical conversation that we haven't had on IncrediChat before. And, you know, and I know, but it really, like we've sat through history. Like
we did. Like
there are going to be books, and you know, just everything, movies, and
I'm looking forward to the movie. Oh yeah, that's going to be great.
It's funny. I was at when you know. Target stayed open through the whole pandemic, but this past Christmas, it was funny. I was in Target, and they had like one of their like little cubes out for the holidays, and had board games on there. One of the board games was called Pandemic, which I thought was ironic and hilarious. But yeah, it's, you really think about what's going to come from this, and how just as a people we've evolved, because there was
Absolutely.
without a doubt evolution in that.
There was. And, and I just want to encourage everybody, that's watching this or listening to this. One of the things that inspired me, to just take it back to like me moving away from my hometown.
Yeah.
I had lived there my entire life, and I had a decent job. I had a decent routine with, there's that word again, routine, with my friends and my family and everything. But there was just something missing. There was something missing, and I saw this infographic floating around. I'll never forget it. It said, "Ain't no way I was born to pay bills and die. Ain't no way ain't no way I was born to pay bills and die." And that's one thing that I repeat to people and I encourage people with. You were born to do more than just pay bills and die. You're a human being. You're a person. You're more than just being somebody's significant other. You're more than just being somebody's child. You're more than just being somebody's parent. You're more than a number at your job. You're a person, and you matter. And that's what I love letting people know about. And I hear the tropes, and I used to think it was nonsense. Like, really? Power of positive thinking? Come on. You don't buy that, do you? And it's just like, until I started buying into it, and it started helping me. As far as coping mechanisms go, for me, it's the gym, to help me with my mental health. I do that, a decent amount of times during the week. That changed for me. That changed my life. I've been doing it for over 10 years now. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do. And, I just want to encourage people, like, find the thing that makes you happy. Find the thing that makes you happy. And, it could be something you share with somebody, or it could be just your thing. And if that's that one thing that you do either that day or during the week for yourself, then hats off to you. Hats off to you. And, you mentioned it, you know the value of counseling, because of being in that school setting, whether it's, professional counseling, therapy, whatever the case may be. We all have some type of trauma. We all have. If you're a human being walking this planet, you have some type of trauma, whether you're ready to admit it or not. And I encourage everybody to at least talk to somebody once. To to get those affairs in order. It's okay to not be okay, and your mental health matters.
and again, you mentioned that stigma, and
yeah,
many years ago, seeing a therapist, seeing a counselor is like, oh my God, what's wrong with this person? And like you say, like,
yeah,
everybody has something.
Everyone's got something. Everybody.
There is no shame in it. I mean, I think the only thing is maybe there's not enough, in our society, maybe there's not enough people like you who are out there to support those people that need those ears to listen to, because people have, I'm sure, even like people who are, do that for a living now, counselors and therapists and psychiatrists and everything. Like, I'm sure their caseloads must be like through the roof right now.
Absolutely. The numbers must be. I had this conversation the other day. The numbers must be at an all-time high, and there is a power within the entertainment industry that still has been untapped as far as this goes. It's not a nice thing to talk about, but the only time we ever talk about mental health is when somebody, falls victim to an addiction, or they take their own lives, and then we mourn them, and then we go back to business as usual, and I'm hoping for that to change. I'm dedicating my life to this mental health advocacy and helping people to, I want to end the stigma. That I want this to be, one of my life's goals. Look at, not to name drop, but, look at what's going on with Britney Spears right now.
Yeah.
Whether, free Britney, whether or not she has a mental health issue, that woman is more than capable of taking care of herself. She makes millions of dollars as a performer. And, if she wants, and she's even admitted, she said, I'll go see my therapist once a week if I need to. I'll do that. I'll take whatever I need to take. I'll do what I need to do. But to be, just held like that under conservatorship, it's so, I heard the testimony. It was so sad. Like, to just have people making every single decision for you, and every single decision involving your children and everything like that. She's, all because, right, she's an adult, all because she had a mental breakdown at one time in her life. So just this one moment in time, this one time frame where she was going through things, you know? So from then on, it was like, okay, well, look, this is what could happen to you again. It's like fear mongering and stuff like that, you know? So, the more the stuff is out there, the more the, you know, things can change, and it's okay. You know, we're, what did they say? Well, the Colosseum wasn't built overnight.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I like how you mentioned too about like, and again, who knows what's going on in the political world with the vaccines and the variants and stuff. But again, like there are people who, you know, took a heavy toll from what happened, and now like they hear about the Delta variant, and it's like, oh my God.
Yep, here we go again.
I got my vaccine, you know, you know, and some people can't handle that, you know, like, and some people, and I'm sure, you know this, that there will be people who will be deathly afraid to come out of their homes. I mean, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, masks off, I'm good, yoo-hoo, we're going to recover now, you know. But then there's a lot of people who are like I can't go to the grocery store, you know, I can't go to church, I can't, you know, but I got and you know, they got the vaccine, and they're starting to come out, and now the new variant is like, no, I can't, you know. So like you said, over the next few years, we're going to see how this really affects us as a people.
Yeah, I've had conversations with folks that even if they're vaccinated, they still have that, oh no, I don't want to go to that because there's all these people around, because I believe in science, and the doctors tell us that we can still get ill, but we won't go to the hospital if we get the vaccine. And to me, that was the key factor there. It's, you know, folks are hesitant to receive the vaccine due to whatever. But, you know, to me, I will take getting sick over being in the hospital, you know, and you know, taking that precaution and such. But, you know, I have a hope that, what do they say? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
So, you know, but we just got to hope for the best. And in the meantime, I'm okay with having conversations like this and encouraging folks and let people know, what is it? Live, laugh, love.
and again, you know, going back to what we're speaking earlier with Lou, is you know, you're going out to the conventions, and again, it is so good to be back out. I was at a convention last weekend, you know, and it was weird again being around. I went, and it was a weekend long thing. It was weird being around people and traveling to a show like that, because it's been almost 2 years since I've done that. But it felt good. It felt like, wow, this is what we're supposed to do as human beings.
It's great.
And for you, I mean, you're going to these cons, you're cosplaying as really a symbol of hope to so many people, you know. And I mean, yeah, they have fun. I'm sure, like there's probably people, I'm sure, that have come up to you, you know, as many people who know you're having fun with Lou, and you know, or the people who come up to you and be like, I can't believe you're cosplaying this. But there, I'm sure there's been people that have come up to you and have said to you, you know, like, you know, Jesus is a true superhero, you know, like when you really and
yeah, absolutely. It's funny you mentioned that. That's been happening since the first day I did that. So we're in America, and you know, in the United States, Jesus is a very known figure. Some people might call him the most recognizable figure in Western culture. So I've had folks just you know, this kind of happens to me in my real life too. I don't know what my superpower is the ability to make people feel comfortable enough to open up like a book in front of me. So, but I've had tons of people when they saw me, you know, it was like they remember just, you know, things that their grandma or their parents taught them, or for some folks, just seeing the physical manifestation of that symbol of hope you talk about in front of them, like that meant something to them. You know, I've had people cry in front of me, you know, like it's it's been wonderful. And when I first started doing Cosplay Jesus, that was like one of the things that I build it as is, well, everybody cosplays as a superhero, and who's to say Jesus wasn't the first superhero, you know?
Yeah, right.
So
He could do anything he wanted, right? So, and listen, and whatever your religious, for people watching this, if your religious beliefs are, God created Jesus, and God created all these people that gave us all these great superheroes that we have.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Creative. Yeah. If you believe in a higher power, then you also believe that we are not robots.
Exactly.
We're tremendous. We're amazing. What was I telling Lou? I said, Lou, humankind can be ugly, and but I still believe in individual people. I still believe in individual people, and individual people is where it starts. People are so quick to talk about like all the awful things that humanity has done over the years, but there's been some good things, and those good things started from good individuals, so
one person can truly make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, we're coming up to the end here. So
Sure.
I'll let you plug. Is there anything that you want to plug? I mean, we have your link tree here now for your health mental health awareness, so you can check out this takes you to Facebook, YouTube. I had to pull it up, Instagram, all that stuff. So if people want to reach out to you, so talk a little bit about people getting hold of you.
Thank you. So these are my personal pages, business page. All of my handles are the same. It's at Mr. Marchak. It's Mr. and then my last name Marchak. And if you look at the Linktree link, it'll take you to all of them. You'll see the kind of content you'll see motivation, you'll see mental health. Every now and then you'll see some entertainment stuff every now and then, but we're leaning more into the motivation of mental health now. And you'll get to see some aspects of my personal life. I'm probably going to announce what I'm going to be doing as far as school goes pretty soon. But, in the meantime, this is like I'm doing all these things at once now. I'm cosplaying again as Jesus, and now I'm pursuing my life's passion, and they're kind of bleeding into each other now. And that's okay. So that's what I'm doing now. And it's, yeah.
And listen, you're going to take that fame that you create with this, with Lou and what you're with as cosplaying Jesus, but doing that, you're going to help people out. And that's
Lou had mentioned that. I told him, I said, like, this really isn't my passion anymore. It's, performing. I love it. I love performing, but it's not I don't want to say passion. It's not my calling anymore, And he said, well, you love doing it. And how about this? If this is a way that you can introduce people to yourself, and now they could, if they want to know more about what you do and how you're making a difference in the world. I tell people all the time, I was called to change the world. I was called to change the world and inspire others to change the world. And that's what I'm doing. So we're just here. We're chilling, Mike.
That's and making the most of our time. That's all we can do.
That's right. That's right.
It.
We don't know how long we're going to be here for. We don't know how long we're going to be here for. We just got to make a difference today. Just make a difference today. Tomorrow will take care of itself.
Very true. Very true. But no, inspirational words, like totally, like. I'll tell you later on, but truly inspirational words. So no, Anderson, this was great tonight. I definitely would love to have you come back on. We can talk some more too.
Sure.
Again, check out this link tree. Check out Father Evil. Check all the great stuff. Cosplay Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Like you're all over the place, and more good things to come from you. I'll just let everybody know we'll be back next week. We got Vincent Martella on with us. Vincent, he was on Everybody Hates Chris, and he's also the voice, I think, of Ferb from Phineas and Ferb and Walking Dead. So he'll be on the IncrediChat next week. So we hope everybody can tune in. Anderson, just sit tight once we end. Up and thank you once again, and thank you again, Anderson, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.